Hey there, so today I want to report on something that I find to be utterly detestable when it comes to the other side of this so-called conversation we have, and that is their attempts to coerce and intimidate, and if that doesn't work, well, it's deplatforming and on. Now these folks too, they are utterly reprehensible when they go out and do things like this, and of course they love to deny, pretending they didn't do something, pretending there's no wrongdoing, but at the end of the day, the evidence, it's all there. You can see it on display, and you know exactly what type of people you're dealing with. Enter yesterday this post in another attempt to silence people through, again, shaming, contacting someone's company, and on. I mean, isn't this pretty much below the belt? But then again, these folks, they say that's not doxing. You know, if you go out and you look up someone's information and either you don't dump it or you say, hey, I had a name and I tried to connect it to all of this other stuff, that's not actually doxing. You know, technically, somehow, in some way, they think that, you know, you have to cross a specific T or dot a specific I in order to make it work. Otherwise, no, it's not doxing. So the post here, as you look at it, some hashtag Comicsgate kid is about to get hella grounded by their mom. Why? Well, you see the $11,000 donation, and you can see where I put name there. That's because the donor's name was in it. Now they went and found information that correlated with that post, and they put it up alongside it. You can see that where I put company and information. This essentially had all of the person's information attached to it. But of course, that's not bad because it's a joke, you know? It's all funny. You know, unfortunately, out there, you have people that are crazy. You know, whether your intent really was to just joke around, which I don't see this kind of stuff as a joke here, but if your intent really was to joke around, you have people out there that have been making solid threats about where people stand for a while now. You say that you understand that. You also say, oh, those terrible comic skaters out there, they dox people all the time. There have been 6 attempts. Now, you've had 2 reported in the last, say, 2 weeks. With that, of course, you try to dismiss that. You don't want it to stick to your side. Hell, you did one of them. But hey, you know, the evil comic skaters, right? Those are the people out there that are going out of their way to try to intimidate and bully, right? So crazy. As a brief aside, I wanted to point out exactly how crazy some people are, so I pulled up this post. Now, this is not related to this particular incident, but it transpired within the last week when you look at this posting, and well, you see intent reflected in it. Now, many people out there, they're not going to post something like this. No, they keep their ideas bottled in their head, and they simply act. Still, that's not saying that people that are dumb enough to put this stuff up there, they don't plan on acting either. So Late Night Comics here decides to respond to Edwin by saying, tell your boy EVS no more doxing info, better show up on that site. And if he reads from it again on his channel, bam, there's the threat there. Now, if you look at that, there's 2 portions of it. Number 1, there's this assertion that people control Kiwi Farms. Kiwi Farms laughs at everybody. Every freaking body. How hard is that to understand? They tune in for the autism. They tune in for the slap fights and the spurgery. They enjoy it their way. Now, they are not going out and they're not making contacts for friends. You know, they're not taking sides. In fact, if you go through, you'll find them going whichever way they want, depending on what's going on. That is what they are. They are independent players. And as far as the threat there, well, I think it's pretty cut and dry. And again, you know, some people, they have the foresight and probably, you know, the brain power not to actually put this up here. But anyway, Late Night Comics, I digress. So, talking about exactly what transpired with the person that was listed there. Now, the name Nancy will come up. And interestingly, the other party that put up information about Nancy here, that other party, they try to deflect in so many different different ways. From, nah, that really didn't happen, to, well, that contact there, the secretary that we managed to contact, they laughed about it, so it's really nothing bad, and on. I mean, all of these things, they're saying that these folks try to intimidate and try to coerce, but hey, somehow in some way, the buck, it stops in another place. It never is owned by its rightful owner. Also within this, just to note, the deflection point even went into, well, Comic Artist Pro Secret reposted that, so isn't he a doxer too? Because if you call out doxing, I mean, you're apparently a doxer as well. But anyhow, continuing on, starting this, just got word, Nancy, who is a big donor to Richard C. Meyer's GoFundMe, has been receiving harassment at work. The moment the office opened, a male asked if Nancy worked there, and when it was confirmed, asked to speak to her boss. Why? I wanted to tell Nancy's boss that she's a member of a hate group, the voice lisped. Now this is par for the course. This is part of their intimidation tactic. They want to call people part of harassment groups, part of hate campaigns, ists and phobes and on. They don't want to provide any information within that tract. Oh no, what they want to do is they want to go out, they want to try to defame, and they want to try to destroy, and because someone decided to give money to a campaign they didn't like. Meanwhile, on the other side of that, you have people like Mark Waid that is talking to places like Nerdist, and while he's talking to Nerdist, he's getting a free pass. So, he's talking about bullying that he's standing up to, and yet here we are. Here's a case of bullying, and well, the other side, they just want to laugh this kind of stuff off. So, when the secretary asked for a callback number, the man hung up. Caller ID was blocked. Now, the original poster there had no reason to release Nancy's work info. This was absolutely malicious. She's pretending to believe Nancy isn't real, but she tweeted her place of work knowing this would happen. Tonight, Nancy is coming on Comic Artist Pro Secret's Comicsgate Live to discuss the harassment and doxing she received for donating to your boy Zach's GoFundMe and the steps that will be taken from here. Fun times there, huh? Now, we had another update within that. Nancy has gotten 2 calls at the office and 4 to her home number. One cryptic recording asking her to call back. She's not scared. You see a name that's been blotted out there, going to contact her again to see if she can do a quick call tonight. The boss sent out emails to the small staff telling them to prepare for all odd calls today. So you can see exactly how that sets up. Now, I don't know if there will actually be a follow-up interview within that, but I do know that this stuff, it should be off limits. You shouldn't see people going out trying to, again, coerce and intimidate by, sticking that finger in someone's chest and saying, hey, wrong finger, I know where you live. I know where you work. I know where your family is. And yet, here we are. That's the kind of tact that some of these people think is okay, and they need to be told that it's not. The people that need to tell them that are places like law enforcement, someone that actually has the authority to set some of these people straight. And well, going after people's occupations, it does kind of leave this trail of proverbial breadcrumbs. And you know what? I'm starting to find out that you can indeed track some of this stuff. So, Nancy, if you're trying to look into this and you're trying to find out exactly how to track someone down, hit me up. I'll give you some ideas on it. See, that other side out there, they may actually think that they're slick, and a couple of them might actually take precautions, but they want to think that they can't be unmasked at all. That's where they're wrong. That's where you can go out. You can get you a private detective. You can get all sorts of remedies if the police don't help, and you can actually find out who it is and give the police something wrapped in a bow. A nice, lovely case wrapped in a bow. But anyhow, you folks out there, you tell me what you think about this stuff. I mean, this is utterly detestable, and yet, again, here we are time and again, because these folks, that's how they like to play. And then, of course, they want to split hairs, and they want to talk about the semantics of doxing. They want to say, hey, that's not exactly how that works, because how it works is exactly how I say. And if I'm contacting your employer, if I'm trying to blow up your life, well, that's incidental, because that's the name of the game. That's the price. Only it's not. This points out very, very ugly, callous people. And hey, those people, they're actually endorsed by huge companies out there. This person had stamped off by people like Scott Schneider. You have people out there like Joe Quesada, the CCO of Marvel, saying, hey, you get a no prize because, of your efforts out there on behalf of Marveldom and on. So, these are the type of people that Marvel and other pros out there think that they should weaponize, because they want you to be quiet. They want you to roll over. They want you to capitulate, or else. And the or else, well, you see it played out right there. So again, you tell me what you think. Now, if you like this kind of content, please consider supporting the channel. Right now we are not doing live streams here, but you can go out and you can support through two methods. There is a Patreon link. There is a PayPal link there. I think those offer pretty good ways of helping out, and that is probably the best way to help out channels, not just this one and on. And this kind of wrong thinking, well, of course, they love to de-incentivize it, because, hey, the type of people out there that would go out and throw out your information, well, those type of people, they've been stamped off by some of the people making decisions in places that are pretty scary when you get down to it. But anyhow, let me know what you think, and as always, thank you for tuning in.